farmers urged the president to keep his promise and support ethanol. The chairman of the Nebraska Ethanol Board is just back from D.C. We caught up with him for his thoughts.
Jen, you just went to D.C. There's a lot, I'm sure, to talk about when you go to D.C. on ethanol.
Absolutely. It was a cold day in D.C., of course, and we had a lot of more aggressive anti-ethanol discussions than we've had previously. Usually, the last year, it was very cordial, very polite, and the anti-ethanol congressmen, their legislative assistants and aides were a little more aggressive, a little on edge than they have previously. You know, one thing that comes up that is undeniable, though, is the benefits of the health benefits of ethanol. When they switch BTEX aromatics and they switch that out for ethanol, it really helps with the poisons in the air and the lung damage, and that really helps from a health standpoint for your wife, your children, your family, and that's unarguable. The argument that we hear is, maybe this is just a cutout for the corn farmers, as I said. I wasn't even sure what that word meant, but basically a subsidy for the farmers and subsidy for the farmers. Unfortunately, people, they are generally a lot of the anti-ethanol people, they're against farmers. They're against corn. They're against ethanol. They're not Midwest people. They don't understand how we make a living out here, and it's just a different way of life from the oil patch per se.
Of all the stuff that's going on in Washington right now, what's kind of the one thing that maybe kind of keeps you up at night, that kind of worries you the most about what's the worst case scenario of what could happen here?
Well, the worst case scenario is they have some bills right now that literally eliminate ethanol as we know it, corn-based ethanol, from the renewable fuel standard. That's done over a number of years, but it's immediate drops by 1 billion gallons, 2 billion gallons a year, and that would be the worst case scenario that I see. And that would literally destroy the Midwest.
So Jan, if you're here in Nebraska, you're a farmer, you want to support the farmers in the area, what are some simple steps maybe that people can take just to be supportive of ethanol?
Well, simple steps. Use ethanol, use the highest blend available at all times. Ask your retailer to add higher blends of ethanol, E15, E30, E85. If you are on school boards, use ethanol. Use the products from the people that are paying the bill. If we can't help ourselves, nobody's going to help us.
All right. Well, thanks, Jan, so much.
Thank you very much.
Any job can be stressful, but working with family in conditions you can't control in an ever-changing economy, well, that might create pressure you just weren't designed to handle. NTV's Sydney Edwards has more on how you can combat stress.
In a 2016 survey conducted by UNL's Ag Economics Department, 77% of producers said they were concerned about reaching needed operating revenue.
We're only as healthy with our business if our mental capacity is healthy as well.
Brandy Vandewall is an extension educator that comes from a farming family. After a program called Strengthening Nebraska's Ag Economy came out, she felt passionate about spreading the word.
So one of the things I really was thinking about is how are these farmers in today's world coping with all the stresses that they have and that they have to deal with daily.
UNL's survey said that 45% of producers that participated felt their financial condition would decline in 2017, something that Vandewall says contributes to stressful times.
Whether, just the finances that they have to manage. Some of them have that burden or stress of trying to carry on that farm to the next generation. And, just trying to support their family can contribute to a lot of stress with them and the family.
Vandewall says signs of stress can be physical or social, like someone withdrawing from others.
In the southwestern part of the state, there were over 70% of producers that were financially stressed.
To combat the stress, she says some producers have practiced dividing family time from work time.
Reducing family living expenses, increasing their revenues by following through with the marketing plan, increase non-farm income, and in some ways trying to do that.
Focusing on profitable yields instead of highest yields, Vandewall says, is another way to reduce stress.
Brandy Vandewall says if you or someone you know needs help managing stress, the Nebraska Farm and Rural Response Hotline is a great resource.
Still to come, farm families bring local beef to the school cafeteria. Up next, our Grow Weather Outlook.
Hi, I'm Jay Farrows with Nebraska Farm Bureau, and you're watching NTV's Grow.
Hi, my name is Tony Walker, and the best part about Nebraska agriculture is the new and innovative ways that we produce food for you and your families.